Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros MLB, brought to you by PrizePicks. As always, it is me, Joey P, Joe Pizzapia. That, of course, is the Welsh, and this is Leading Off Live. We hope you had a great weekend. Now we're back because it's Monday, and it's time to get back to the grind. Welsh turned 40, a milestone for you, and another big milestone, too, because we got another home run on the board for the Welsh. I'm so happy. Tatis hit one. Unfortunately, still for mayor. Oh, two. So you are back at it. How does it feel to be alive again, Welsh?
Well, it's a special moment. I want to thank everybody for being with me for the ride. It's not something I'll ever forget anytime soon. Being up at 2 homers near the end of April is quite an accomplishment and easily repeatable.
Easily repeatable.
Like probably 50 to 60 people have done better. Maybe 100, maybe 200. Who knows?
Yes, but people are here in the chat ready. I mean, Matt Flood right at the top here saying the mush is dead, long live Tatis. I saw people on Twitter getting excited about it. And I guess here's the thing. When you were down low, you really got to know who your friends were, I think, in the last couple weeks, right?
I got friends in low places, and they picked me up. So I'm very thankful for all of you. Thank you to Tatis and, all of the respect of the game he has to get me up on the board.
There you go. All right, let's kick things off. We got a lot of baseball to talk about today, so let's move on it. From the weekend action, let's start here with Alek Manoah. We talked about buying low. He was my buy low on FantasyPros.com this week when we do our fun little thing that Mike Mayer sends out to all the analysts of who should you buy low, who should you sell high, all that fun stuff, the Fantasy Pro stuff. And Alek Manoah, this was your window. And if you knew he was going to get right, of course he was going to get right in Yankee Stadium because that's what he does. He's the big hoss who shows up in big games when it matters. He was fantastic. 7 shutout innings for him. No decision against the Yankees. I don't care. ERAs come back down. Alek Manoah is going to be fine. Yoshida, what a night for him. He homered twice in 1 inning yesterday for Boston. One of them was a grand slam. This is a fun tweet from JP Long. Masataka Yoshida recorded the 65th instance of a player hitting 2 homers in an inning. It was the first time it was done by a Japanese-born player, the second time which a home run was given his team the lead in the 8th inning or later, the 4th by a rookie, and the 15th in which at least one of them was a grand slam, and he did it on the anniversary of the Tatis Sr. double grand slam. How's that? Isn't baseball crazy that way, Welsh?
Baseball's beautiful in that. I mean, it would have been better if, Tatis would have hit 2 homers on that day and might have helped somebody out. Might have helped somebody out if the son did it on the Father's Day. Yeah, but no, it was pretty good. Who are you more I guess you were a buy-in on Manoah. I'm just curious if you were like more Manoah or you think Yoshida's in a good spot. The only thing just coming back, the whiffs are still down for Manoah. It's just going to be a big part of his game. He only had 9 whiffs going through that over 85 pitches, but his CSW was a little bit up. Do you think the bounce back from Yoshida or Manoah is going to be a bigger impact?
Manoah. I actually on Friday went on a show in Canada. I didn't go to Canada. I did it from New Jersey. But it was great to talk to those guys, and they wanted to know. They were talking about the series coming up against the Yankees, and it was on the Homestead Network. And my whole thing to them was, look, he's got to limit the walks. He's got to get back to basics here. I'm not concerned. Last year was so good for Manoah. I expected a little regression perhaps. But he walked like 55 guys last year in almost 200 innings. He had 15 walks going into Saturday's start. So, I mean, things was just way off for him. I am very confident in him. With Yoshida, again, it's more of the, as there's more tape on you in the league, they start to figure out a little bit. It was a great night for him, not taking anything away. It was tremendous, but it's a good question. But for me, I'm a little bit more Manoah. Shohei Ohtani clobbered the 3rd of 3 consecutive homers off Jordan Lyles. Rough day for him. Angels get a big victory against the Royals. Jack Flaherty, let's talk about this. A Jack Flaherty sighting, 2nd victory of the season, 9 strikeouts over 6 innings. Is Jack back?
No. Well, I mean, he's back into what he's been doing. I had Jack as a trade away recently, and I still hold to it because that walk and strike number were wildly different. Yeah. Obviously, he is kind of like coming back to that. I remember I told you guys not too long ago, he had a higher walk percentage than strikeout percentage. Now that's differed a little bit, 23% K percentage, but it's still a 17% walk rate. ERA in the 3s. I think it's still very miragey because he has an expected ERA over 5. It's 5.17. So it's almost 2 runs higher. The walk rate is through the freaking roof. People are barreling him up a little bit better. I think he's getting away with a lot. He's probably a lot better than just being like waiver wire fodder, but no thanks. I am still a sell on Flaherty.
Here's one for McGilla Gorilla has a question in the chat. Too soon to bench Machado? I have stopped to replace him. Yeah, it's too soon. It's Manny Machado. You spent a second round pick on Manny Machado. You play Manny Machado. Like I'm especially in these weekly leagues. Like if you want to sit him for a day, that's different. But Welsh, you're not sitting Manny Machado, are you? I mean, that's just crazy
No,
to me.
probably not. I probably can't find a space to do it, but I don't know. I mean, you can go and look at matchups. He is struggling. He is pressing
I get
so
it.
hard so far early on. I couldn't bench him for a week, but I could bench him for a day or two. But yeah, no.
All right. Let's continue on with some of the headlines for Major League Baseball. Adolis Garcia had 3 homers, 2 doubles, and 8 RBI in an enormous victory again over the A's,
Insane.
18-3 on Saturday. That was crazy. Kyle Gibson matching 11 strikeouts, his career high against the Orioles. Shane McClanahan had 10 strikeouts over the weekend against the White Sox, who continue to scuffle. I mean, if that's putting it kindly, I don't know what else to say about them right now. Nick Castellanos 3 for 4 with a pair of solo homers this weekend. James Outman continues to be hot. Welsh 4 for 5 with 2 homers. I mean, can we say right now that James Outman looks like he could be this year's league winner? Is it too early to say that?
Oh, league winner? Yeah, I thought you were going to do like the whole rookie of the year stuff. Yeah, absolutely think so. The way he's hitting the ball hard.
Look at what you got him at, right? Price wise.
Yeah, no, he's completely free. I mean, he was completely free in all of it. Outside of like the K percentage being a little bit higher, it's around 28%. Everything else in the red on Savant. I'm looking here. X-Slug, 90th percentile. Expected batting average, top 20th percentile. Hard hit is in there. He's barreling in the top 8% of the league right now. A lot of sustainable stuff. I believe his BABIP was up a little bit, but the guy hits the ball hard. He runs. He hits homers. He looks like a legit 2020 guy. He might do something of what Bobby Witt did last year, but completely free, which would make him wildly crazy as a rookie buy so far this year. And he's going to make that rookie of the year race really interesting in the NL because Miguel Vargas is out. He's barely rosterable. Corbin Carroll just stole his 8th base of the year. Right now, it's Outman, him, and I think Walker behind them. So it's a good race.
Yeah, Sengo would have to get real hot here and kind of figure things out. But I mean, it's only April. It's a long time. Max Muncy in the chat, our good friend Max Muncy. I know someone else who had 2 home runs. Yes, Max Muncy hit more home runs. So Max Muncy's back. All right.
Max wants you to know that he's here at all times because
I'm glad that
you were
Max
very
is
mean
here.
to him.
I was not mean personally to him, but when you come off a year where you're hitting under 200 and then you start off the way you did, look, the San Francisco Giants lit a fire back under Max Muncy, and he's been brought back to life. So there you go. I've been rewatching.
You were mean in the same respect where someone's like, hey, nothing personal, but, and then whatever follows is usually incredibly personal.
No, I don't think it was that at all. He looked terrible for the first week and a half of the season. He looked terrible. He looked like the same guy I saw last year. I was like, I'm glad I didn't draft that guy. And he's been a home run machine ever since. I'm glad. I mean, it is unbelievable. Okay. This is a funny one from Frankie in the chat. Max Muncy is going to be the Chris Shelton of 2023. Perhaps Chris Shelton.
Well,
Remember him? He had an enormous
Max Muncy
head.
does have a history of being successful. Chris Shelton came out of nowhere.
But
I
either way, Max Muncy was literally the next guy to talk about the headlines, but now I'm not going to because we already did. A couple promotions to talk about. First, Logan Allen coming up from AAA. He made a start, 6 innings, 1 win there for him. He got 8 strikeouts. Over in AAA this year, he had a 1.26 ERA with a 105 WHIP, 20 to 5 K walk ratio over his first 14 innings. And then you had
17 whiffs in that game. 17 whiffs up against, the whiff master and Jesus Luzardo. Just want to throw out that was very, very impressive. Logan Allen also putting out essentially a 4-pitch mix of 9% or more of all 4 different pitches. So pretty good.
What do you think of Brenton O'Doyle coming up today from AAA for the Rockies? 24-year-old outfielder at AAA this year. Slashes 306, 404, 633 with 5 dingers, 8 ribbies, and a steal through 12 games. Can he give some life to this offense that is bad?
Yeah, I'm not a huge Brenton O'Doyle guy. He definitely has big monster power. He's one of those guys in the minors. He was a little bit older, almost at like every level that he was rocking, but 3.46 slash, big homers. We'll see where the strikeouts go. He's kind of like in the mold of a lot of these guys. Like it's like the Nolan Joneses and him. They're these big power guys.
Not a Nolan Jones guy either. Yeah.
No.
But as far as Logan Allen goes, you're a Logan Allen guy. You feel pretty solid about him.
Yeah, I mean, it's really mixy over there because they've got like Tanner Bybee, and everybody kind of wanted Tanner Bybee to do it. But Logan Allen in the early set of the season had some of the best stuff plus, according to Eno's model. And he's a lefty that was in there, had a 33% CSW in this first game, was throwing strikes. I think this is going to give him more opportunities. I like Logan Allen over Peyton Battenfield when they were putting him out there. So I think Allen has a real shot to stay in the rotation for the year.
I added Bybee actually last week speculatively. Still at him cheap. Still sitting on it.
It's just like how many guys are they going to put in that rotation? Are they going to put like Battenfield and Allen and Bybee? How many rookies?
To be honest, like I look at some of the guys in the rotation and they're not thrilling, and that McKenzie injury obviously opened up spots there too. But, outside of Bieber, I don't think there's anybody get super excited about in that rotation right now.
Well, and Bieber is not super exciting right now.
Well, but I mean,
talk about him some week in this video at some point. In a video.
A tease for the video. Welsh teasing the video. I'm getting a lot of questions about Joey Lucchese. Hey, how you doing? Lefty Lucchese, Uncle Ted Talks wants to know about him too. With the way David Peterson's pitched recently, and Tyler McGill's been kind of scuffling as well. If Lucchese puts together a couple good starts, he could stick in the rotation. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibilities if he's floating on the waiver wire to pick him up today. Like, I don't think that's an insane possibility.
What a dog pile the Mets rotation is right now that we have to talk about. We have to be like, oh, you know what? There's a real opportunity that like David Peterson or Joey Lucchese could be in it. They went out and got Verlander and have Scherzer and Senga. And we're talking about just these garbage pile, like Oakland A type, Cincinnati Red type pitchers that are in the rotation. Though David Peterson would be the second best pitcher on the Reds right now. And we're talking about like, oh, maybe Lucchese's got like an opportunity. It's just baffling to me. I'm not in on Lucchese, but that's me.
I don't know who this is. Someone said I went full Dylan Brooks on poking the bear. Who's Dylan Brooks?
Dylan Brooks is the Memphis forward that said LeBron is nothing to him.
Oh,
he scores 40, and then he punched him in the nuts, and then he got ejected. And
I'm not about punching a guy in the nuts. I think that's fine. I don't know how to transition out of that, but I'm gonna try. Let's get to injuries. See what I did there?
There's an
injuries. This one is just pisses me right the hell off. Logan O'Hoppe, 4 to 6 months, torn right labrum. I mean, you're not going to see him this year, folks, because the Angels are not going to be. Maybe you see him in September if everything goes incredibly, perfectly well. I don't know. I doubt it. But it's done. It's over. No, it's so upsetting. He had such a good start to the season, a power hitting catcher off the waiver wire. So sad. So sad. But Yu Darvish listed as day-to-day, expected to make his next start after leaving with the hamstring cramps. Tim Anderson will head out on his rehab assignment soon, so a little ahead of schedule. That's good. Tony Gonsolin joined the Dodgers in Chicago on Sunday, so it looks like he is going to be moving closer here. He was pulled after just 57 pitches on Thursday for his rehab start, so it looks like maybe they're kind of moving to that next start being with the Dodgers, which would be good for the Dodgers. Alex Kirilloff could be optioned to AAA once he concludes his minor league rehab assignment. So let's talk about this here. Twins offense obviously looking for something here. Alex Kirilloff is, I think, in this, same range that Jared Kelenic was, where eventually you've got to do something. Is Kirilloff now on the other side of that, where it's like, okay, it's never going to happen? Have we gotten there yet? Or are you still holding any sort of torch that Kirilloff can somehow make a career for himself in the big leagues? Because it's the fact that he's coming back and might just stay at AAA. I don't know, like that's starting to bother me a little bit in terms of his stock.
Yeah, I had to look like what is the current roster construction because Joey Gallo's back. He's logging up first. I mean, I think when you take a look at it, you can see like there is no spot for him. And here's the number one thing that Alex Kirilloff needs right now. He needs at bats. He needs to get going. So from a Twin standpoint, it actually would be crappy for them to bring him up and not play him because where the hell is he going to play? Joe Buxton is the DH. You're not going to put him in the outfield. Trevor Larnach is playing better. There's no outfield. There's no infield. There's no DH. So I actually see why the move is there, but he's getting closer and closer to he needs to, S or get off the pot type of situation. You need to start producing 3 homers, pretty good in AAA. He's starting to hit again, but he's perpetually injured. I'm always a fan of him. I interviewed him like 4 or 5 years ago. His dad is a hitting coach. He's a really smart hitter, but those wrists just keep falling apart. He continuously has issues. I think he can hit, but it is getting into Kelenic. I said it like you. Kelenic situation of like, we've got to get this going at some point, but he's got to have opportunity, and he's not going to have that if he's sitting on the bench in Minnesota.
Before we get to more injuries, Brian's got a question. Lance Lynn wound up on waivers in my league. No brainer, pick him up. Yes, pick him up. He's got 2 starts this week. Of course you pick him up. It's crazy. Look, we talked about the splits. The 2 bad starts were the 2 day games where he was absolutely just obliterated. So yes, you pick him up. It's an easy thing to do. And I haven't talked about this, but it looks like Mike Mayer wants to talk about this. Is waiting for Joe to talk about his heater in the betting world. And I noticed a lot of people follow me over the last couple of days over on the bettingpros.com. And if you haven't already, download the app. And once again, go join our little group there because it's a good time. Bettingpros.com/leading off. Everybody seems to be there. Hey, I'm on a heater, but again, this is my job. It's supposed to be right. So I'm not going to take too many victory laps. I'm wrong about Max Muncy.
Just like saving. That was the most like you saved a girl from the water and you're like, no big deal.
No big deal.
It's
Whatever.
Just my job.
It's just Monday afternoon. Let's get to Carlos Rodon. He played catch. So did I this weekend. So I don't know what that means. But we could take that with every grain of salt you want. Sandy Alcantara with the biceps issue. He played catch on Sunday. The plan is for him to throw a bullpen session on Monday. It seems to be what's going on. And then hope that with this tightness that things go well. And then he can make his next start. So obviously, if you missed this, he was scratched on Saturday because of the bicep tightness. Do you think this has something to do with what we've seen out of him recently? Because it's starting to feel like we're connecting the dots and maybe an IL stint could be out there. So he becomes a risky asset. Is this a risky asset you want to trade for and take that risk, or one that you're running the other way from? Because are we worried that something's breaking down here with a guy who's been one of the most durable pitchers in baseball for the last few years?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think like what you just said, the durable side is more of what I would bet on than the breakdown side. I think he's kind of exposed, kind of like in a Kirilloff, we were talking about him, the Manoah sense, where this is another one of those pitchers that does not have great high K per nines. And I think that just kind of minimalizes his value if he's going to get hit up a little bit. So I think he's just a little bit more susceptible if you've got low strikeouts. And obviously his game is going deep. And if he doesn't go deep, it's just going to kind of bring everything down. I would definitely be interested in, I'd be way more interested in buying him than I would a guy like Manoah. They're different costs. My only problem is I don't know or think anybody is really selling Sandy Alcantara for like a good discount. And I would want a decent discount. Not that you have to be like, oh, I'm going to give you 100 green, but like, it's got to be a decent discount off of one of the top pitchers in all of baseball. I would want to take a buy, and I would want to take an opportunity, a chance that he's going to come back from the injury. Cause the guy just goes deep into games. Hopefully that offense can get going. I would buy cheap.
I think I'm where you are too. Mike Mayer in the chat. Joe graduated to push notification status this weekend. I almost spit up my drink when I saw the phone buzz with a Joey P notification.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of those. I've been essentially 60% plus, but you apparently got on such a good streak they had to
like
push notify.
7 or something. I don't know. It's like a little high.
How many games are you betting a day? Are you just doing one?
No, I'm usually at 4 or 5. I typically do like 4 or 5 investments. It depends.
So you're on a hot streak. You're on
now today's a day
500 hot streak.
Betting stuff, boys and girls. I do not like the prop market today. It sucks.
Yeah,
I'm running the other way. But I do like some things here on the games. For fun here, Mookie Betts starting at shortstop, batting leading off once again. So here we go. The Mookie Betts shortstop time is upon us. This is wild stuff. Also, I was prepared to do this because we're in a little chat, Mike Mayer, myself, and the Welsh, and we were talking about if things didn't start to go Welsh's way here, things were really Welsh might have to become a blues singer because he can't get a home run call, all these things. So I wanted to know what Welsh's blues name was going to be. And what you do is we have a list of all these things, these things you see on the internet. What's your blues name? You take your first initial and then you match it up and your middle initial. So mine was a funny one. Mine was Boney Gumbo Bradley. That was mine.
Good old Boney Gumbo Bradley.
Boney Gumbo Bradley. Now, Welsh, what was your blues name? By the way.
All right. So again, this was like first initial of first name, middle name, and last name to create it. And my blues name was Sticky Bad Boy Bailey. I'd be Sticky Bad Boy Bailey.
Was good.
Sticky Bad Boy Bailey.
I think he played for in the 20s. I'm pretty sure.
It sounds 100% like a 1910 second baseman for whatever, the Braves team that wasn't called the Braves. And
Sticky Bad Boy
Bailey, he struck out 7 and won 2 innings. How's that
You have
possible?
to do it in an old-timey voice though. Sticky Bailey, sure. Boy, that bad boy sure is a heck of a ball player.
We shall see. Sticky Bad Boy Bailey.
Sticky Bad Boy.
What was Mayer's? What was Mayer's?
I don't know. Mayor
he did his. Oh, it was Jailhouse Dog Lee. So
there is Jailhouse Dog Lee.
It'd be nice if we could put this in the comments so everybody could see the little post of what's your blues name. You could use all the initials.
Let's put it in.
You guys could.
You know what? Let's do it in Discord. Do me a favor there. Once you earn your money there, Mike Mayer, go put it in our Discord, fantasypros.com/chat. And let's see what everybody who's in that chat, their blues name is. Let's continue on here with something. Again, Joe's Tough Guys. We haven't done this in a while because there's not a lot of tough people out there nowadays. But the Pirates added 13-year minor leaguer to their roster. 33-year-old Drew Maggi, I believe is how you say it, could finally make his first appearance of the show after 13 years in the minor leagues. He doesn't have a great, I mean, it's almost kind of stunning that the guy's been in the minor leagues for 13 years. He must be the most incredible teammate, maybe a good defensive player. I don't know, because I'm looking at the stats on this guy. I'm like, how did this guy even get there? It's a great story. I want to see him get a start. I want to see him get a moment and a hit just because when you stick in the big leagues that long, yeah, like, come on, man, you're 33 years old. You 13 years in the minor leagues, Welsh. That's a long time to not give up on your dream. And, obviously he's never going to be a major league player of note, but can he get that one day in the sun, that Moonlight Graham kind of moment? I think he can. I think that'd be great.
I love the idea of it too, because what if he got to stick around and he got to make that money for a little while? By the way, went to Arizona State. Didn't even realize that went to Arizona State. But the idea of being able to stick around that long too, no big deal. But you got to have someone in the family that's making some money. He almost seems like maybe he's a stay-at-home dad. Maybe significant other is a doctor or something like that, because you're not getting paid, especially for being a 33-year-old being in the minors this long. But it is very, very cool.
3 up and 3 down for the weekend. Matt Carpenter 3 for 3 with a homer, 2 doubles, 5 RBI on Sunday. Jacob deGrom looked great. 11 strikeouts against the A's, but still 11 strikeouts. So he looks healthy. Yoshida, we mentioned his big day. 3 down. Jose Urena, 3 2/3 innings, 4 earned, 2 homers he gave up. He's 0-4 with a 9.8 ERA. Matt Bush got through a third of an inning, 4 earned, 2 home runs, blown save, loss, 8.22 ERA for him. And Chris Flexen, the gift that keeps on giving. They got to get this guy to the rotation, Welsh. His ERA is 8.86, 6 earned in 4 innings, 9 hits, 2 homers. No good. Let's go move away from these guys because they're terrible. I don't know what they're thinking about.
They only had awesome minor league pitchers, guys like Prelander Baroa or, Emerson Hancock or Bryce Miller.
Emerson Hancock sounds like somebody who was a pilgrim. Wasn't he one of the
Actually sounds like one of these blues names.
We should do a pilgrim or minor leaguer segment on the show this week.
Do you know a lot of pilgrims?
I have to Google. Pilgrims. I can Google some pilgrim names. Pilgrim or minor leaguer. We'll see if we can get Welsh on that later this week. Let's do some prize picking. PrizePicks. Download PrizePicks right now, or go ahead and just go to PrizePicks.com. You'll use the app. It's great. But when you sign up, make sure you use that promo code leading off. That's very important to get 100% deposit match up to $100 over on PrizePicks. Welsh, what do you have for the people today on the PrizePicks?
All right. On the PrizePicks, we're doing a combo strikeout. Taj Bradley and Chris Sale. Taj Bradley's strikeouts propped up a little bit too. You talk about the prop market being a little bit tougher.
His price of DFS is absurd. We'll get to that in a second.
And he's juiced. Chris Sale looked good the other day with the strikeouts. Taj Bradley's been pretty consistent. It's at 11.5, so you got to average 6 between the two. I like that opportunity, so I'm going to go with Taj and Sale. Comboed strikeouts is 1. I'm going to go with Austin Riley's hit, run, and RBI at 1.5 over. So we just need 1 hit, 1 RBI. We're good to go. And Mike Trout score 8.5. I believe that is up against Ken Waldichuk. So we will take that. Trout score, Riley hit, run, on RBI, and Taj Sale strikeouts. That's my prize picks for today, my friends.
I like that. I like that combo one you did. That was not up on the board when I was up this morning doing this show together.
They usually are a little bit closer. For everybody, they're a little bit closer to game times if you guys want to look for those combo ones.
Yeah, the combo one's much better because I couldn't find one I liked on Bradley or some other guys. But I like that one. I just got Chris Sale by himself at the 6.5 on the over. We got Rafael Devers, who I love today, 8.5. And you got a small number on Matt Olson, a 7. Good matchup for him against a right-handed pitcher today. I'm in on Matt Olson today. Best bets of the day. Again, I saw so many people over the weekend joining the betting group. And I'm just going to reiterate once again, this is for picking games. It doesn't matter if betting's legal or not. We want you to come hang out with us, see how smart you are in picking games and picking props and doing all these things. Bettingpros.com. Download the app. It's free. Bettingpros.com/leading off. What I've got for you today is I got a 3-leg parlay of the day. You should bet these individually too. That's what I did. But if you want to put them together, you can. You get a nice number together. Red Sox with Chris Sale on the money line. The Rangers with Nady Eovaldi on the mound against the Reds on the money line. And the Atlanta Braves, heavy favorites with Spencer Strider on the money line. You put those 3 things together, you get plus 369 over bettingpros.com. You can do it, or you can put it on any site. Put those 3 together. That's a really good 3.5 to 1, basically. And I think those three things are locks today. Welsh, what do you have for the people? Because I got no props today. Betting is ugly today.
Yeah, I don't have a lot. I will tell you again, the best thing to do when you sign up, if you like really care about the bets, the betting pros, you'll get the updates. I will add as time goes on, and I have a little bit more time to look over the market. I got two things. One thing I locked into last night was the Cleveland, Colorado through the first 5 innings, 4.5 run over. And Austin Gomber is pitching. It's not in Colorado, but Austin Gomber is pitching, and that seems like a really solid bet. Cleveland's offense been a little bit dicey, but it put up 4 in the first 5 yesterday, and they got Cal Quantrill, who gives up some runs as well. So I really like that one. That's my favorite straight bet so far. And then I'm kind of in on Ronald Acuna total bases over. That's plus money. I got that on the Betting Pros prop cheat sheet, which you guys can check out as well. And if I drop any more, which I may drop 1 or 2 more, I will most likely have that updated on the Betting Pros leader group board. And if you follow me, which more people can definitely follow me, you'll be notified and you can check out all of my bets. So go and do that.
One of my favorite things for the chat here, Wonky Penguin. Curly Harp Smith is her name in the Blues world. She says it's awful, and I'm willing to change my actual name to get a better Blues name. So there you go, Wonky.
Do like a wonky, like do wonky and then
do
penguin.
Wonky then
so
Penguin.
W
do
and
Wonky
P and
Y
then...
Penguin. Yeah. Let's see
or
if
no,
that's a
how
better
about this? I got this. The Wonky Penguin. So
there you
TWP.
go.
Let's see what that is.
Let's do that one. All right. Let's also, before we get to DFS for the day, don't forget about So Rare. We want you out there playing and checking this out. FantasyPros.com/collect. You can sign up today. They've got digital cards for all 30 teams. So if you like fantasy baseball, if you like the NFT kind of world, if you like all that stuff, it's a really cool opportunity to basically really own stock in your players and then play against other people. You open the packs, these virtual packs, those are your players. You make trades, you do all these things. It's super cool. You saw a thing on MLB Network this morning for it. I couldn't believe it. I looked up, I was like, hey, So Rare. That's on our little tiny show, and they're on MLB Network. So it's sweeping the nation. FantasyPros.com/collect. Go check it out. MLB So Rare. The next era is yours. It's a really cool way to kind of do all your things. If you think you know baseball very well, you could buy these younger players. You can have them on your team and then go compete against other people. It's really cool. DFS-wise today, wacky slate today. Really weird stuff. Chris Sale is 8.8 on FanDuel, but on DK, if you play the 4-game turbo slate, he's just 7.8K against the Orioles today. Yeah. So Joey Pete did a little digging today for everybody because it's such a weird, it's one of those days where you can, all the times are all over the place. So you can kind of slide things all over and look for good things. Nady Eovaldi, 9.3. I like that. It's a good ROI. Spencer Strider, 11.2. Look, it's going to be super expensive, but you're going to go after it. That's fine. But you look for somebody to offset. Here's what's so interesting. Jose Urquidy, over on FD today, 8K. Taj Bradley, 10.2 already. I couldn't believe against the Astros, 10.2 for Taj Bradley. Did that number surprise you? Because it shocked the hell out of me.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a wild number, especially against the Astros. I think they're definitely playing into the 2 dominant starts for Taj Bradley. I would be avoiding.
Here you go. Hell or High Water says,
did you see
Wonky Eyes Rivers? That's a good one.
Did you see Wonky? It's amazing. It's up here. It's Big Sugar Bradley. Big Sugar Bradley.
That's
the Wonky Penguin as a name is much better.
Big Sugar Bradley is very good.
Big Sugar Daddy.
Big Sugar Bradley. He played center in the ABA, I'm pretty sure. All right, let's continue on here. DFS wise, stacks of the day, the Angels, the Atlanta Braves, good spot today. Value plays, good ROI, hitting at the top of the order for the Angels for Taylor Ward at 2.9. Akil Baddoo against the righty, 2.5, and Eddie Rosario in the middle of that Atlanta lineup is just 2.2. Let's go to the home run board, Welsh, because we've got home run calls from the weekend. See where things are now. I know you got on the board now. You're not on the official high-end board.
No.
But you got a home run. BHB Daddy at the top with 11. You got Primetime and Carlson at 10 right behind. I think I'm at 4 is where I'm at right now. I could be wrong, but doesn't matter. I'm not on the board yet either, so we're both in the same place. I think I will get on the board today, though, with a dinger, because I'm going with Matt Olson in this game. Welsh, what do you have for the people?
I'm going to go with Mike Trout. Mike Trout up again, a good matchup, hitting 800 against Waldichuk. So I'm going to go with Trout to get me on the board for 3. And let's start the week off. I am going to potentially double. I want to double my home run total, not go from 2 to 4. I want to go from 2 to 6 this week. So I'm trying to smash some dingers, my friend. And
There you
Mike Trout's
go.
going to do it for me today.
And Mayor went with Ronald Acuna today, who's also yelling at me and saying, Joe, we have a meeting at 1 o'clock. Duh. You got to get to the
We got a
meeting.
show right here. We got a show
right
call
here.
there. We got a show right here.
Look at the people here. They're waiting to hear home run calls. They're waiting for baseball talk. It was a fun weekend of baseball. It's good to see Manoah get back on track. I do think he builds on that. Sandy Alcantara, interesting buy opportunity. Some intriguing starts today. We're going to get Spencer Strider on the mound. By the way, his numbers for Cy Young have really gone in a whole other direction there. They have 2/3 less than they were to start the season. Over on Betting Pros, by the way, too, on our YouTube, I'm going to be doing in May a whole little special podcast about all the numbers that have moved, of how you can go make some more investments in the futures after this first month. So check out that. Make sure you subscribe to that show. Make sure you subscribe to this bad boy too, and click that little bell till it goes ding. And don't forget, use leading off when you sign up for PrizePicks. That'll do it for us, but the story of the game goes on. For the Welsh, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Have a great day. Peace.